Hey everyone, so slightly different video today. We're going to have a look and just basically talk about the new ranked emblems that are coming with Season 9. Ed is actually the guy that we were talking with in the past few videos, like with the interview stuff. He's been teasing these ranked emblems over on Twitter and actually has revealed all 9 of them now. All of the, the new ones, the Iron, the Grandmaster, plus everything actually has got redesigned. We've had pretty much the same badges forever, so it's kind of nice to have something completely new. Some of them look really cool. Some of them could do with work, I guess, but part of the reason I'm making the video actually is because they are looking for feedback. They're not completely done yet. The shapes are pretty much done, but like what is in them, the colors and stuff like that, like if they could add stuff within it, that is all up still. Like they can change that stuff. So if you have any thoughts about it, make sure you leave it in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed the video, but let's get into it. So these are going to be the 9 new ranked emblems coming in Season 9. You obviously got your Iron in the top left and you have your Challenger in the bottom right. They're actually based around lore-wise, like different areas within League now. So he actually pointed this out on Twitter. So Iron is Bilgewater themed, basically. Bronze is Zorn. Silver would be Piltover, so like Caitlyn and stuff. Gold would be Shurima. Platinum would be Ionia. Diamond, Targon. Master Void. Grandmaster, Noxus. And then finally, Challenger is Demacia. You should be able to recognize pretty much all of these, honestly. They have kind of the same color schemes as they do right now. Obviously, it's very different. It's kind of like a Pantheon helmet, right? It's also got a sword there at as well at the top, and you can see that tip of it down the bottom. We're going to run through pretty much all of them and just talk about what I think we could change and give you a kind of close-up of each one. They're all pretty cool. The color schemes seem pretty cool, and it's like something new to kind of like go for, I guess. Remember, they are changing slightly, so there's only 4 divisions within each tier now. And obviously, we have Iron at the very bottom, and then we have Grandmaster between Master and Challenger. So I actually think Iron looks pretty much fine. Like, I don't really have any complaints about this. I don't think people are going to spend too much time in Iron anyway, so this icon doesn't really matter as much as some of the others because you're not really going to be working towards it, right? You're like stuck in there and then you eventually get out, right? The bronze one is better though, so actually when you go from Iron to bronze, it will look kind of cool at least. Like bronze has a few more features in it. You can kind of see it's a bit more intricate. It actually does look kind of cool, so being in bronze isn't like, well, it's not the worst thing anymore anyway, but it's not quite as bad, I guess. The color schemes work. It looks pretty cool. I think honestly the sword adds to it a little bit more, and I actually kind of think these two are pretty good. Getting into silver, we have like kind of the first where the face or the helmet kind of like really starts to come through, I guess. The color schemes are pretty good. I think it's a bit more intricate, which is pretty nice, and it's silver. Like there's not really much you can do with silver, to be honest. It's gonna be silver and it's gonna be pretty basic. It's still the 3rd tier. It's still something you don't really aim for like necessarily. Most people when they're at bronze, iron or silver are probably gonna be aiming for gold, right? So that's like the first really important one, I think. And actually for gold, I don't really think it's that great right now. The color scheme doesn't really seem that good. I don't really like the green in it either. It doesn't seem like as gold and as bright as it does right now. I think gold is actually like something that people do aim for. You get the Victoria skin. It should be shiny. It should be like kind of, I don't know. It should look glorious, I guess, in a way. I don't really know how to say that. Kind of like a championship thing, you know, where that theme is really like shiny and everything like light coming into it and stuff. But with this one, it just seems kind of dim. It seems kind of dull. The color schemes, I don't really think are that great, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I think they're going to change it. They're going to tweak the color scheme. If they change the color, just made it more golden, less like kind of goldy green, a yellowy green, I guess, I think that would actually look pretty good. The design itself is pretty cool. It is an upgrade, obviously. It looks good. Like the design looks really good, and it makes sense with what we're going to see next as well. Just the color scheme, I really don't think looks that good. Okay, so moving into plat, and I think actually this is probably the best one out of all of them. I know it sounds really weird, not in the best sense that like it looks the best and this is the one that you're going to want over anything else, but like the best in comparison to what we have now, right? Like this really does look League themed. It's actually still pretty cool. Like the icon looks pretty cool. It looks kind of helmet-esque, but a bit more like intricate and stuff. I'm not sure exactly the design looks like the most amazing, but the color scheme, the greens, the like different shades of greens and stuff, that actually makes me think of platinum. It's the first one where you look at it and you think, actually, that looks very similar to what we have now, but just very different at the same time. That made no sense. Basically, like it actually fits League. I think some of the others, like the gold one, doesn't really look like it fits League that much. And I will go through in some of the others, I think fit other games a bit better than League. But Plat, I think actually is the first one, well, the main one that really does fit the theme of League and actually like makes sense with what we have right now, right? So I probably wouldn't even change that one. Honestly, Diamond, maybe I would though. So with Diamond, it's pretty cool. You've got the gem at the very top, right? That's the same gem we have right now. So it still looks pretty similar. Like there isn't any massive change between what we have right now. At least there is some kind of consistency over it. Color scheme is okay. I think it feels really crowded and like really cramped, honestly. Like it feels like there is a lot of stuff weaving in here, but it just doesn't really make much sense, honestly. It doesn't look that great. The sword part of it though, at the very top, I think that actually looks really cool. Like I don't know what you guys think, but like I think that is something that you kind of want to aim for a little bit. Like Diamond is the real aim for most people, right? Most regular players will be like going through gold and plat and stuff like that, but they will aim for Diamond. That's the real big one. You want to feel like super special when you get it, right? It should look really good. It should stand out. It does kind of. The light is there, which is really good, which I think was like missing from the shininess of like the gold and stuff. But I don't really feel like the eyes and like the crowded in the middle, like around the top, actually makes that much sense. Like I get it and it looks cool and stuff, but you'll see that the Grandmaster one, the Master Tier one that we look at next is like way more. Well, if you look at it a little bit, right, it looks way more like a helmet rather than the Diamond one, which just looks kind of like crowded, and like the face part of it, like the bottom part of it, I just don't think looks that amazing, I guess. So the color scheme is great. The Diamond, the sword and stuff, that's great as well. But the bottom part of the helmet, it doesn't really fit in my opinion. It doesn't look like that amazing, I don't think. I guess it's just kind of like an upgrade, a level up from the plat one, but the plat one looks a bit odd as well, but it looks like a bit better, I guess, than this one, which is just like loads of stuff together. I hope that makes sense, but that's basically, I think Diamond just needs like a little bit chilling out a little bit, and it's been made a bit more obvious that it is actually like a helmet. So Master Tier is really good. I really like the design on this one. I think it actually is really cool. You've definitely leveled up with this one, and the like kind of like the nose piece coming down makes it look more distinctive as a helmet. So like the design is really good. The stuff around the outside is really cool. Like if you look at it, everything is like kind of leveling up and upgrading as we go through, right? I think like the gems and stuff is really good, but when I first look at this, like I don't know if you guys agree, maybe it's gonna be different for you if you've never played World of Warcraft, but it really just looks like a Draenei kind of like color scheme. Like the colors just look really off for me. I don't know what it is, but I really can't explain it, but I don't think the color like fits with the league and how like I see Master Tier. Maybe it's because Master was like kind of that gemmy like gray and stuff. Maybe that's why, but maybe it's because I played World of Warcraft and Draenei's and like their cities and stuff all look like this kind of pinky color together, this pinky scheme. That doesn't really make sense to me, but I think it could work still. I just think maybe it's a bit too bright. I don't really know. Maybe it's just me. Honestly, I think it looks pretty good. The design is really cool. I probably wouldn't change anything with that, but the color scheme just looks a little bit strange to me, and especially when you compare it to Grandmaster, which we're going to look at next, which is really, really cool. It just doesn't have that same kind of like effect, but I guess actually like when you look at Diamond to Master, the kind of upgrading from the bluey color into the pinky color makes a little bit of sense, and you can't really have it the other way around because the Diamond is really the bluey color, right? So maybe they have to go with that, and it's just kind of how it is. But I feel like Master Tier, it needs to be a bit more aggressive rather than a bit more pinky. That's just me though. I mean, it's just the first thing I think of is WoW, and I can't really get it out of my head, I guess. But let's go to Grandmaster, because I think that's actually probably the best one. Most people are not even going to get Grandmaster, so maybe you've turned off the video by now, who knows. But the color scheme I think is really good. It's leveled up again from the Master Tier, but it actually looks really like angry and dark and stuff, and I think that kind of fits with like League a little bit, but also the theory of like getting really to the top of a ladder. Like you have to think that these are going to be the top 500 players, maybe top 300, maybe even top 400. I'm not exactly sure what Ed said, but either way, like it's got to kind of be impressive, right? It's got to be I don't know, very different, but kind of fit the same kind of theme of the helmet. I think the color schemes are really good though. It really does look like a helmet, and it looks like a big boss's helmet, I guess. If you think of any other game, if someone was wearing that kind of helmet, you know they are going to pack a punch and be really hard to kill, right? That's kind of the idea, I think. But the gem really works. It's obviously getting a little bit bigger from the Master Tier one every time. Sword is similar again, but obviously it's a bit different to fit with the theme, and the sides of it is leveling up. Everything just looks really good. I think I actually prefer this to the Challenger one. I'm not going to lie. I know Challenger is kind of like, well, you'll see in a second, right? It is very bright. It's more like heroic and stuff, so it separates itself out, but I actually prefer this. Like if I could choose, I would rather have this icon than the Challenger one, which doesn't really make sense. Finally, into Challenger, the color schemes are massively different. Everything is pretty much different about this. It's got similar kind of stuff like framing around the bottom, swords kind of the same, and the theme and stuff like that, but The color scheme is completely different. It's kind of like a hero now instead of like the villain side of things. That's how I kind of think of it. The helmet has changed a bit as well. Like it seems like it's kind of matching a little bit, but I don't know if you guys agree as well, but it seems like the helmet's just really different. Like I don't really know, but it seems like you now kind of ascended to the top level where it's like heroes rather than being the villain underneath, I guess. That's kind of the vibe I get from it. Color scheme's really good though. It fits with Demacia, which is kind of the important thing, I guess. The gold, the blues and stuff, that definitely works for being like that challenger kind of style, and it does really fit. So I think actually like you can instantly pick this out as a challenger icon. It would definitely work. I don't think you could have to change that much about it, honestly. Maybe a bit more gold. It's very white and blue at the moment in my opinion, with just some gold thrown in the middle, but I guess you can't make the entire thing gold, right? But it wouldn't really work that well. But I think actually like it does stand out. It's very different. It is unique compared to the rest of them, and I guess that's kind of the idea of being challenger versus anything else, right? So those are my thoughts. Hopefully you have some feedback as well down in the comment section for Ed. I'm sure he's probably going to watch this video as well, because he does watch a lot of these stuff that like is generating feedback, because he really loves to listen to you guys and see what you actually all think about it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you're most excited for. Let me know which icon you think is best. But for now, I will leave you with the robots.